What's going on, guys? Today we're going to be taking a look at my FZ-07, introducing it to the channel, and talking about all the mods that I've done to it over the last couple years. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Here's my 2016 FZ-07, now known as the MT-07. Starting off in the back, we have a Vagabond tail tidy. Cleans up the rear end of the bike pretty significantly and looks really clean and has a nice angle to it. Second, we have the turn signals front and back, and these are Lighttech LEDs. They have a nice clean look and we've had pretty good luck with them. They've got pretty good visibility and are fairly bright. Was one of my main concerns. I wanted people to see it. And then in the front, you see there's a running light, which I liked. Any more visibility helps and makes with better safety. Next we have the mod by Jake the Garden Snake. It's essentially just makes the rear seat a lot more snug when it's locked down. Essentially, it's just applying tape to these latch points, and it just makes for a snugger fit so the back seat doesn't wiggle around as much. Moving on to under the front seat here, we have a Shorai battery. They are lightweight lithium batteries, and we have them on several of our bikes, the FZ-09, the FZ-07, and the XR650. And we also have it on my Superjet jet ski. They seem to be really reliable. We haven't had a single problem with them, and we've had it for several years now. We do keep our jet skis and bikes inside over the winter so they don't see too much cold, but we've had some great luck with them and really enjoy the weight loss with those. Moving down, we have the Dunlop Q3s pluses. This is a huge upgrade over the factory tire, a lot more confidence inspiring. Moving on to the Swingarm here, we have these RNG spools / sliders. They make it extremely nice for cleaning the chain and picking up the rear of the bike. However, if you do your own tire changes like me and my dad do, you're going to need a stand that can pick up from the spools and have a standard stand, or have a stand that does both the spool pickup and the standard pickup on the Swingarm here. So just something to keep in mind if you do pick up these rear spools, if you are doing your own tire changes. Sides of the tank, where we have our Techspec tank grips. These help a lot with grip when you're leaning on the bike. They help a lot with confidence and makes you feel like you can get over further than you could traditionally would without these on there. They do help a lot with having control when you're leaning, and they have stayed on very well. I was really concerned about that with the adhesive, but the adhesive on this bike has done pretty well. Moving down, we have these Woodcraft frame sliders. They look pretty clean and definitely will protect the bike in case of a crash. Hope we'll never need to use them, but they do look pretty neat. Up to the handlebars here, we have these Protaper handlebars. They are a little bit longer and a little bit more forward, so you have a little bit a little bit further reach, and changes the position of your stance slightly. And then I wanted to touch on this. This was kind of neat that me and my dad thought of. This is the original mirror location As you can see, it's cut or blocked off. We use these little like automotive pins or clips and you push in, and what you do is you trim off, which you can see obviously this one is too long, so you're going to have to cut some of it, but you just push it in and it protects from dirt and grime getting in there and messing with the threads. But they are a one-time use, so when you pull these out, they pretty much almost always break. But I thought it made it look pretty clean, and is something that we do on all the bikes. But yeah, you can pick these up at a auto parts store, and they're pretty cheap. Moving over, we have the R6 throttle mod, which is a shorter throw. So it just uses the R6 throttle tube and shortens the throw of the throttle, so you don't have to crank it so far. And it definitely did help, because the original one, I remember, was really far compared to the R6 throttle tube. Then we have the Pro Gel grips. These are the grips that I use on all the bikes. They have a nice feel to them. They last a long time, and just seem to be like my favorite grips. So I definitely recommend these, anybody checking them out. Then we have the CRG bar end mirrors. These are my favorite. I have them on this bike and the CRF 450L. They're really high quality, and you can have really good visibility behind you. And pairing that, we have the CRG shorty levers. These are a nice add-on to the bike, make it feel a little bit more sporty and have a nice feel to them. They're not too sharp. They're pretty smooth right here, and they're nice for your two fingers. Have a nice feel to them. Then one thing I wanted to touch on, originally when we first got the bike, the wiring for the speedometer here was coming through this area right here, and we didn't like that, so we moved it to the side here, because this location was really tight on the wires. So we wanted to make it so it was a little bit cleaner routing, so we did route it to the side rather than through here, to make it a little bit better. And then moving on to performance mods, we did the V-Cycle Nut ECU flash. We originally had it on the FZ-09 and loved it so much that we went ahead and did it on the FZ-07 with no regrets. It definitely smooths out the bike and increases the power. Then we have under the tank, we have the DNA air filter and cover. That was like the biggest filter for this bike, and gave it a throatier sound and helped a lot with performance. And it took a while to get, because it was made overseas. And then moving down, we have the Akropovich titanium exhaust. The exhaust isn't fully titanium, but they call it the titanium exhaust, and we do have it flashed for the baffle out. And all of the mods that we did for performance were sent over to V-Cycle Nut, so he could tune the bike specifically for the mods that we have. But the Akropovich exhaust sounds killer, and you'll see it in my next video of the motovlog of the FZ-07. It has a nice, loud, clean sound to it, and is a pretty cool exhaust. And for the final mod, we have the Dave Moss suspension mod. I'll put a link to his videos. They're really great in-depth videos of the process and kind of explaining how it improves the bike's suspension and handling. And essentially all we did was we cut a little section out of the front springs and put in heavier oil, and it definitely stiffened up the front and was noticeably better, and definitely would recommend to anybody looking to do a fun, really cheap mod. He also goes into depth on the back, talking about the rear sag, and does some killer videos. So I'll put a link to his channel or to his videos in the description. But yeah, thanks for checking out my mods list on the FZ-07 and welcoming the bike to the channel. And let me know what you guys think in the comments. And tune in next week for the moto vlog video of this bike so you guys can hear how the bike sounds and performs. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.